All right, let's take a look at TokenController. I've had a couple people ask me about just like general usage and little tips and tricks. As many times as I've attempted to make things self-explanatory, it's never worked. So let's take a look. I'm just gonna load up like a regular game that I have going right now. There's no script, so I doubt I'll miss anything. It's really not too complicated. All right, let's get into it. So let me make sure. Cool. We got our town guard here, and the idea of TokenController was for this map even was I wanted to make the tokens patrol around and do some other stuff. And there's actually another good script out there, but for whatever reason I felt like doing it myself, and here we are. All right, so let's take a look. On the right, you can see we've got our TokenController menu. I'm just going to drag that out a little bit to get the full thing. And what you can see here, we've got different paths. So the moment you install it, and you can install it from the actual API area where you can select whatever script. But as soon as you install it, you'll have some like demos. They're not really awesome patrols. It's like do a square, make a line. I think there's a T pattern. Okay. So let's say you don't have any of these, and we'll go ahead and remove that one. And we're going to say, okay, Town Guard, we want you to do a loop around the big statue in the center of town. The first thing we got to do is select the token, and it can be any token. It really doesn't matter. You can do this on any map, anywhere, but generally I just find the token that I want to use because there's a feature in here that shows you what's going to happen as you go. By the way, I'm waiting for Roll20 to merge that code in. So if you're seeing this like the week that I released it, it's likely that that defect is still out. But I did put a fix in this morning that will make it so, we'll get to that. We'll get to all that. All right, here we go. So when you install it, you should get a couple macros and a handout. The handout is kind of hard to see right now because I've got all my dark mode stuff on, but there is some like general usage tips here. I didn't spend a lot of time on those, so I wouldn't like expect the world from them. And if you want those to be better, send me a message on Roll20 or Patreon or wherever else you find me. Okay, so the three macros we have. The menu, so in case like you've got, let's clear our chat. Haven't been on here in a little bit, so, oh God, here we go. Clear current chat log. That did the trick. Okay, so let's say you're blank slate, you don't have the menu open, just click the menu macro down here. Now on your token, you've got two more macros, the builder, which allows you to start a draft path, as you can see over here. And you've got the token control follow. So if you have two tokens and you want one to follow the other, you can just select one token, the one that you want to, I think it's follower, and then you select the followee. But we'll test that out here in a second and get that right. So we're going to start by drafting a path. Just going to name this test. I'm not super worried about making this video glamorous. I just want everybody to know how this works. Once you name it, you can see here it's in our draft paths. Units is how many tile grids it's going to step. All right. So what do we need here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 6 to get them all the ways around. And then that would be, all right, let's just do that. So we want to go up 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I kind of like 7 to the right. So let's do that. Ta-da. Now we know we needed 6 again to go down. And then 7 again. Submit to go left. All right. Once I hit set, the code is going to recognize that that's a cycle because you're ending in the exact spot you started. Pretty straightforward logic. There's not like any magic going on. If you don't end where you start, the token, when you path it, will go to the end of the path and then reverse back. And we'll demo that here in a second. So now we've got like a good draft path. You know, this town guard, he's not anything special. We just want our city to have a little motion into it. So we're going to, right here, click set. Ta-da! Now we've got a new path. All right, now as I said before, it doesn't matter what token you grab. So I could actually select like all of these tokens. We can make them all path, and they'll all do the exact same path. But that's not what we want right now. We just want this guy. And once we have him, now let's walk through the path. So in the path, the first thing we can do is click the path name. We get a little bit of information. It's defined as, it's so cheesy. That's all I'm doing to build the path. It's like up 6, right 7, down 6. Super simple stuff. Once you know that, right, you don't ever have to click that if you already know. You just hit start, and away she goes. Now, it's set to a clock cycle, and you can change that right here in the interval section. So you can just turn it down by a whole second or by a microsecond. So kind of fine tune, coarse tune. And I wouldn't toggle with that too much. If you make it too high of a tick rate, like if it moves too fast, it'll bog your server down. The slower the better, so if you can get away with slower tick rates, you're off to a better start. But it's set to a pretty good one here where I've had a lot of tokens moving with no stutter. The other thing, generally its pixels per unit is going to be 70 on a map. Maybe you love making custom maps and stuff. That may change and you're going to want to adjust that for whatever you're doing on that map. That is not set map specific. That's like a global pixel per unit. So if you're changing maps a lot, maybe send me a message and we'll make it map specific. I started making settings, some of them map specific, but then I haven't gotten that far, so we'll get there. Okay, so you can see he's pathing. Another thing to know, let me go ahead. Here's how you stop them. There's 2 ways. Any token that's moving, you can select it, and then you've got your little token panel here. You can stop it, reset its position. You can lock it in place, and then unlock it, of course. Anything that's locked or following or on a path, if you click stop, it frees it up. So I'm gonna let him get to where he goes. I'm gonna stop him there. Now he's not doing anything. Now let's make a second path that's not cyclical. Does not make a loop. So cry, easy peasy. Oh, I didn't like that name. I think it's because I had spaces. So there's something to know. You can't have spaces in your path. So no loop. No cry. There we go. All right, we're not going to make a loop, and we're going to add some weighting, and we're going to do this at a different pace. So now we're going to do up, 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 wait, wait, and then we're going to do right, right. I'm going to set units to 0. Watch this trick. I want him to look up. Wait, look right, wait, and then we're going to have them walk back by 2s. No, we're not even going to do any of that. We're just going to stop right there, and it'll reverse this whole thing. Let's just set that. Okay, so we put our guy back where he goes. I chose this spot because it's an easy to reset to area. And then token selected, just going to click start. So he moves up 2. He's going to move up 2 more. He's going to move up 2 again. He's going to wait a little bit. Cycle. Cycle. He's going to start moving 2 to the right. I think he does it twice. Now there's some wait times baked in. He's looking to the right. He looks up. I think he looks up for a while. And he's going to look right again. He feels good about his patrol. Time to head on home. Right? Let's go, guard. It's all those weights baked in. He's basically gonna do the opposite facing movements before he heads home. That's a wait again, because we're reversing through the map, like the path steps. Keep moving down, and he's gonna return home. Alright, that's like super basic, simple stuff. Let's say our patron here was drunk, and he got in trouble. We're gonna select the patron, and then we're going to choose who he follows. I'm 90% sure this is right. Okay, cool. So now we're town guard, and let's say this was a player character and the player's controlling it. As the town guard moves, the patron is going to make a decent attempt at following. It does not do like corner rounding or collision detection, so there can be some like real wonkiness. And the faster you are moving your characters around bit by bit, you can see there's like a little bit of lag built in. That has to do with that tick rate. There's not a lot I can do to speed that up except for try to put in some faster algorithms. And did a pretty good job of making sure we didn't get too crazy. If you know what big O of N is, there's like a lot to do in there. But, okay, so we got all that. Let's stop here. Okay, no tokens on that path. I want to grab him and click stop. I don't think he's following anymore. Let me make sure. Oh, still following. What am I doing here? Nope. Alright, we'll have to check on this in a minute. Okay, so following's pretty straightforward. The next thing that we want to look at, well, we can lock the position. So now that token's stuck in place. It puts a little marker on it, that little red dot, so you know, even though he's still set to follow, because for whatever reason that wasn't turning off, the moment we turn it to unlock, should be good to go. And then you can reset follow, you can do whatever you want. Right now there's some basic things set up in here. There's edge of map detection so that your tokens won't just wander off into the abyss, which can absolutely happen if you're not careful with certain mods and stuff, so watch for that. If your token does walk off into the abyss, there is a way to get it back. Send me a message. We'll talk about it. I'll put a bug fix in. I tried to do basically edge of your map detection and say if the token's about to make its way off, stop its movement. So that's all baked in. Again, if you got any questions about this, reach out to me on Roll20 or on Patreon or on YouTube, because obviously I've got to host this video somewhere. I don't do a ton of like high media content creation for myself, but that may change over time. Obviously, well, wrong side, you can see I'm moving, so I've got boxes everywhere, and it's going to be like another month or two until I'm like sat back down. But when I am sat back down, I intend to turn Megadeth, that you can't really see here, into a proper streaming area so that we can do some music creation. I like to code on the stream. We talk about some video games, maybe do some lifting or whatever. We'll figure it out. Talk to you soon.